For the lead calibration, make sure your ohmio is completely turned off and the auxiliary batteries are fully charged. Then what you need is to find something that is roughly 10 centimeters in the height. So here we have a special platform, so it's 10 centimeters on all of these four corners, so it's level all the way across, roughly 10 to 11 centimeters. Now you won't have something like this, but you might have a couple of 2x4s. So this will also work. This is about the right height, either if you have them sitting like this, or if you stack them up and have a couple of them sitting like this. Or you could even use some solid books, or anything you have that's strong enough and it's the same height on all four corners. So if you're propping the ohmio up, it's completely sitting level. And it needs to be about 10 or 11 centimeters, so once you lift the ohmio up, the wheels are completely free moving, as I'll show you in a second. So to lift the ohmio up, this is what you do. We're going to raise the legs by pushing this leg raise button 3 times. Now we're going to put the legs down, and as we do that, we're going to pull up on one handle, okay? So as we put these legs down, just pull up on here. And the force of the actuators will just help lift the whole ohmio up as you pull it up. Now that should be high enough that you can just slide this underneath. Then do the 3-button push again, 1, 2, 3, and it will just drop down on top of your object. Now the ohmio should be sitting level. You can see the wheels are completely free moving, they're not touching the ground at all, so that's exactly what we want to see. Now just put the legs back down to stabilize it, and you're good to go. You can now plug in the programming cable. Come around to the back of your ohmio, and we want to get underneath this leather cover. To do that, just pull up on this edging strip. If you're like me, most people should be able to pull this all the way up, all the way along, but I am having difficulty just on this corner here. If you have difficulty, then you will need to remove the boot lid. So to remove the boot lid, if you absolutely have to, hold it in the middle like this and push either side inwards. Now, the pin should just pop out of its hole like that. So there's just a pin here, and there's a corresponding hole just in here. So now with that off, I'm able to get this all the way up. I'll just set it out of the way for now, and now we have access to underneath. The cable that we're looking for should be on the right hand side. It has blue, brown and black wires coming out of it. If you're lucky, it'll be sitting just in front like it is here, but more likely you'll need to very gently push this cable harness down and out of the way, then look for those blue, brown and black wires, and carefully just follow them until you find the cable head. Now grab your RS485 cable and make sure you get the orientation right. So there's a little dimple on this side and there is a catch on this side. So make sure you get those lined up properly. Click it into place. It'll only go in one way. So if you're having to force it, then turn it around because you haven't got it in the right way. With the ohmio propped up and the legs completely down, make sure it is still completely turned off. Plug in your RS485 USB connector and we can now open up the calibration program. Right click and choose Run as Administrator. A window might pop up which says Windows protected your PC. Just click More Info and Run anyway. And then another window might pop up which says, do you want to allow this app to make changes? Just click Yes. There are two options, either Calibrate 1.1 or Calibrate 1.2. Go down to the back of your ohmio and have a look at where the actuator attaches to the feet. If it looks like this, it is a 1.2. If it looks like this, it is a 1.1. So choose whichever option is best for you. Mine is a 1.2, so I'm going to hit the 1.2 calibrate button. Just make sure any wires are clear of the feet of the ohmio so that won't get caught. And then as soon as you push this button, you need to push the leg raise button. So push that, and now push this. What you want to see is all four graphs being populated like they are here. If you instead get a reader error message along the bottom and only some of the graphs or none of the graphs populate, that is fine. Just close the program and try again. Okay, it says it is out of spec by 210 milliseconds. Would you like to run the calibration? Just click yes. It'll cycle the legs up and down. And you can see all these blue lines end inside of that yellow mark. So that means all the legs are calibrated evenly. You can now close the program and unplug your Omeo. Now this is extremely important. Make sure you remove this block from underneath your Omeo before you continue. Okay, we can now unplug this. Put this cover back on. Make sure that leather cover comes over that lip, and then put your edging all the way around it. So just like this. Over that lip, push down. Over that lip, just like that. Push down. Just check all the way around this edge that it is pushed all the way down. And make sure there are no gaps coming around here. And now if you're like me and you take the boot off, put the boot back in now. Again, holding in the center and angling this edge bit inwards so you can get it into the mounting hole. Just like that. Now our boot's all good again. Now make sure your wheels are also touching the ground. If you have to, raise the legs and lower them again. Now you should be good to jump on your Omeo, turn it on, and off you go.